What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And we're joined by former IBF champion, the first Las Vegas champion, and that is Ishe Smith. Ishe, what's going on, man? Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
What's up, man? How y'all doing, man?
Oh, we're all good. We're all good. Oh, they didn't fix the mic for the chin. Ishe, so there's two blue. See those two blue?
Yeah,
Try to stay in between those.
All right, cool.
Okay. So I walked in from getting my water and heard you and Danny saying that with 96 amateur fights, Hasim Rahman Jr. should have been able to beat Jake Paul. I agree with that, and I want to know, did you see Sean Porter predict 2 weeks ago that this would happen?
Yeah, I saw that because I was
crazy.
talking about it on Twitter. You know, I've been really active on the Twitter about the whole cancellation, and like I've known the Rockmans for many years. I've known him and his brother, the boxers, for many years. I watched them come up through the amateurs, so I've been really vocal just about the whole thing. And yeah, it's crazy, Sean Porter. But boxers know, like, there's certain things we know that we just may not talk about, but we know, and you can kind of read in between those lines that Sean Porter knew what was going down.
For sure, man. So, who are you blaming? Because I guess in Porter's video, he's like, look, Jake is going to do everything he has to cover all bases to make it look like it's not his fault. So I'm saying to myself, well, he did a good job because I think it's Rahman's fault. You signed the contract to fight at 200. Then they gave you 5 extra pounds, and you call back and ask for 10 more?
Right.
I mean, that don't make sense.
I think anything over 200, 205, and he has some type of rehydration clause. I think they're reporting that was in the contract. I've heard that from multiple people.
Definitely was a rehydration.
Yeah, so, look, man, if you're going to sit here, and I get it, he says a lot of shit for shock value. I'm talking about Jake Paul. If you're going to sit here and say Canelo, and you won't, I think he mentioned Bivol's name and all these guys' name.
McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor.
I mean, recently he said he'll knock out Earl.
Yeah, McGregor.
Terrence.
McGregor is like, you know, he's like my weight, like 170, 180. Like, it's a stretch for him to get.
Naturally, he was a 55
right.
pounder.
It's a stretch for him to get up to 100. And if you're going to talk that shit, you got to walk that shit. That's just the end of the day. If you're going to sit up here and say, you can do this, give me Canelo, but wait, give me 3 years. If you're going to talk that shit, you got to walk that shit. And no matter what you say about me, about my record this, I did this, I became a world champion, and I talked that shit, and I fought everybody. I was fighting, you know, everybody that I fought late in my career ended up becoming world champion. You know, J-Rock, the other boy from Detroit. You know, I gave them both
Tony Harrison.
fight. Yeah, Tony Harrison. They both became world champion.
That fight.
And a lot of people thought I beat J-Rock.
Jacobs became a 2-time world champion.
I fought Danny Jacobs early in his career. Fighters fight, man. That's what we do. I protect the sanctity of the game, and I respect the sanctity of the game, and I don't like and I get it as money, showtime's involved. I don't get involved with this whole social media, let's make, this shit. Like, it's just, I just remember back in the day coming up when I was a young pro, like, it was a lot of, like, black fighters that wasn't given opportunity because we were told we weren't marketable, that we didn't sell. And even Floyd had to deal with that young in his career. But now, you know, you get the blue-eyed blind cat who's never fought a day in his life. And I'm not hating. I'm just looking at what we came up through as fighters. And that's what these athletes or fans seem to think. Like, they look at old basketball players and they like, man, Charles Barkley, these guys are hated. No, they just speaking facts. And I remember making $1,000 for 4 rounds, $1,500 for 8, $1,500 for 6, $2,500 for 8. And I'm happy, but I'm happy for the real guys that's fighting. Like, because I know, like, without me, without, like, the Teddy Reeds, without those guys that were way back then that came up, that was fighting and taking the shit money, I know, like, the Devin Haney's and all these other guys that haven't really fought nobody. Well, not Devin. Devin has fought some people he's a fucking undisputed champion. But when you get like the Ryan Garcias and some of these other cats and they making seven figures, dog, that's 7 figures. You used to just make that back in the day when I was coming up, 90s, 2000,
I mean,
early.
the right person was making it.
You had to be a star. You had to be like a really big fucking name. You didn't have, guys fighting on HBO after dark making $1 million. Like that didn't happen, and now these guys are making, Ryan Garcia, I think, made $2 million his last fight.
Was Freddie Hernandez? I mean, that's a title fight though, but Andre Berto, Freddie Hernandez, I'm pretty sure he made $1 million.
That's kind of when it was kind of like turning around a little bit. It was, and that now it's really turned around. So when you get a guy like him, Jake Paul, calling it, like I just said, if you're gonna talk that shit, walk that shit. But that's the end of the day.
So it's kind of weird because he came into it already having that following. It's kind of like when Mike stopped playing, went to go play baseball. You get what I'm saying? They didn't bring him up. They didn't bring him up actually to the majors because he was good. They brought him up because he was Michael Jordan and he would sell a fuck ton of tickets. So it's like he already had that fan base. Jake Paul came in with his fan base. But when you was talking about talking that shit and walking that shit, what do you think of the WBC coming out before the cancellation saying that had he won, he'd be entered into the cruiserweight rankings?
Pathetic. I mean, there's so many guys worth it. It's hard to get ranked. It's even more harder to get a title shot. It took me 13 years. Pathetic. I mean, but they'll do anything for the dollar. But the difference.
I don't.
The difference between.
Come on, Ishe.
The difference between Mike and what you're saying is that Mike didn't come out and say, I'm better than Babe Ruth. I want this guy. I'm better than this guy. I'm going to hit 40 home. This guy is coming out, calling out like real fighters. Like, and you fought a basketball player.
Everybody calls out real fighters. Every boxer calls out someone better than them, someone above them.
But we walk the walk.
And he's not?
No.
Bro, he was about to...
You can't walk the walk by fighting MMA fighters.
He was about to fight Hasim Rahman
and
Jr.
I said if he beat him, I will give him his credit he deserves.
You still got to give him... It wasn't his fault. He the fucking A-side. He put the terms. Hasim accepted them.
I agree.
So first of all, let's not forget, he was about to fight a dude that's a heavyweight, natural heavyweight. Got pedigree. The blood pumping through Hasim Rahman veins, that's of his father.
Yeah,
a world champion.
I agree.
And then he got 96 amateur fights. If that ain't called stepping the fuck up and showing us you real, then what is? Like, really, when do we respect Jake Paul? And if fighting Rahman is nothing,
when he beat
he deserved to be ranked if he beat Rahman.
Hell no.
Absolutely.
How?
You show me the professional boxer that fought a Hasim Rahman in a 6 fight. Show me.
Come on, man.
What? You gonna say Loma? What you gonna say, Loma? You gonna say fucking Rigondeaux? You gonna say somebody with a goddamn great record?
They argue. We had this conversation on Twitter yesterday. BJ Flores came and said, Hasim Rahman's better than your first. I was like, bro, in my third fight, I was fighting Alfonso Gomez. What are you talking about? Like, you can't compare the two. My debut, I was fighting a guy making his debut. I was making $1,000. What are you talking about? We all know who Alfonso Gomez is. In my third fight, he was 1-0. I was like 2 or 3-0. Like, I was fighting Alfonso Gomez. What are you talking about? But fighters fight.
But Jake's been on a higher level than you, so his anxiety is greater than yours.
Listen.
When you stepped into the ring,
I said,
how many people was there? When he stepped in full arena.
We got to realize.
As an 0-0 fighter, full arena.
The time has changed, too. The times have changed.
He changed them.
It's a different time than it was.
He changed them.
They all kind of changed them. There's all been he's not the first YouTuber. He's just the one perfecting it. He wasn't the first to do it though, and it's a lot of people doing it now. And
you ain't lying. He not the first, but him and his brother. They was the first to go straight to pay per view. Straight to pay per view on YouTube. Did 1.5 million 4 years ago.
Right. No, I'm like I said. When you talk that talk, you got to walk that walk. I still don't believe if he beats Rahman, he should have been ranked. That's just my personal opinion.
But why?
This is why. And Ruiner 504 made a great point. Did Morrison's boy get ranked after he beat Rahman?
Who knows?
He didn't.
He didn't. Go find out.
He didn't.
But let me tell you what. Morrison's boy had 20 fights. 19 knockouts. That's not Jake Paul. Y'all just sitting here calling Jake a fraud. So if he beats a fucking champion with pedigree, last name Junior.
He didn't
Give me that ranking, man.
But Rahman is Rahman ranked?
He should be if he not. I don't know.
He lost his last fight.
Okay.
And me and him was talking in the DMs, and I said, this is a great opportunity for you. Coming off of L, erase that, win this, you're on top. I said, I'm happy for you. If you need anything, we chopped it up in the DMs for a minute once I heard he was getting the fight. But look, man, I still, and that's my man, I still don't believe if he beat Brock, he should have been ranked. But I did say I would give him much, much credit if he beat Rahman, because there's no way he should have won. So I'm not sweeping Hasim Rahman under the rug saying it was nothing. I don't think he should have been ranked, but I would have gave him a ton of fucking credit if he beat Rahman, because there's no way he should have won that fight.
Listen, when Rahman sat in that chair and told us he had 96 amateur fights, I said, damn, what the fuck? Why they take this fight? Like,
but not only that, people got to realize Rahman inspired a bunch of world champions, including me. Including me.
So look, I'm going to say this. I didn't believe that Jake beating Rahman Jr. should get him ranked. But I will say that this was the WBC. So when you pull up the WBC rankings, unlike other sanctioning bodies, their rankings go up to 40. Mm-hmm. So I looked at the 40th ranked guy, right, just out of shits and giggles. Guy's 11-0, 4 knockouts, and he's only fought one person with a winning record.
There you go.
And that was his last fight. And the guy was 15-12-2. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like,
if that guy could get ranked,
if this guy gets ranked fighting
one person,
guys with 46, 49, 45, 27, 39 losses, you know?
But so you would have ranked him off of beating Askren, off of beating Woodley twice, and off of beating a basketball player.
I want to see a pro debuter, right? Not on the level of Jake. Not someone that already's been handling fame and 60 million followers, okay? I want to see a normal boxer get in there with Tyron Woodley and win on that stage.
A normal boxer?
A normal one.
Come on, man.
He's saying a guy making their second fight, fighting on pay-per-view main event.
You've been up there so long, you forgot, man. I'm telling you.
Man.
Come on,
Ishe. You know that them club shows and them pay-per-view cards
Gabriel Rosado, when Gabe Rosado took the Alfredo Angulo fight, he worked at Home Depot. Give me Gabe versus Tyron Woodley on Showtime pay-per-view back then.
What do you think Gabe would have did to him?
The same thing he did to Angulo, lose.
No, absolutely
bro, you
not.
can't be a part-time fighter and win on that stage.
Come on, bro. Are you serious?
All right.
Are you serious?
I said it.
We're talking about Gabe Rosado against. Do you see how bad Tyron Woodley's hands are?
Who you seen his career turn after?
His hands are too bad.
After he got the love from B-Hop and he was able to stop having to have a fucking job and work all these crazy night shifts, that's when his career changed. When he moved from Philly to LA, start working with Roach.
I think.
Come on. I've been following that man. He was my first interview.
All I'm going to say is cruiserweight division isn't deep.
No, it is not.
It's not deep.
It's never been really deep.
Come on, you know how these sanctioning bodies are. You know, if you got a nice name, you may get a slightly better ranking. So
people in the chat talking about a prospect whoops on Woodley in their first fight, but then they forget how a gold medalist lost on his first fight. Okay,
you can't compare. You talking about Loma?
I'm talking about Robisi. But you see how people on that level lose on the big stage? Y'all think it's easy to fuck. I'm just saying, the audience, they think it's easy to fucking be in front of 17,000. No, it's not.
It's not easy.
Shit gonna change real quick.
It's not easy, but come on, man. We talking about an MMA guy who doesn't have striking ability. We can't compare the two.
Negative. I don't agree with that. I've been in camp with Woodley, man. I guess that's why I feel differently. I went to camp. I seen him spar. I seen him work out. And before he got the Jake Paul fight, I was going to Pedro Diaz's gym in Florida. I've seen him work. I know Tyrone Sponge before the Usyk fight. Like, before this new fight with Tabiti. Like, I've been to those gyms, so, like, I'm not falling for that. Man, you ain't see how Jake was looking in that Woodley fight? He was almost out.
So he
was almost out. Woodley almost put him out.
You think Jake could beat Tabiti? I don't
know. The Rahman fight would have showed me where he was at, because in that.
We're talking about Andrew to be.
I know.
So I'm just asking you a question. I just want to.
I would assume that he should not be Tabiti, but I've been selling myself. I'm not gonna lie. I've been selling my own stuff on Jake, and here's why. Sergio Martinez with bad knees and an entire soccer career and fucking paddle boating got to the level he got at 21 years old with no money, being an immigrant from Spain, being found by Samson Lewikovic. This kid is a fucking millionaire.
Okay.
And that's what you, and no. And I think you and the audience overlooked that. I'm already rich, but I'm choosing to be hit in the face. Not I got rich by being hit in the face. I'm already dumb fucking rich, and I want to fight.
The man made $40 million last year.
And he still want to fight.
But he made $40 million off boxing last year.
And he still want to fight.
Bro, he's not fighting anyone, no.
Rahman was someone.
Rahman was someone. I told you that. I'm not going to downplay the Rahman thing.
I think Woodley was someone. He had been on that stage. He had been a fighter. He had been on TV. He had been in the ring. He don't deal with anxiety. You seen the anxiety in Jake when he got hit.
I don't. Only because we're talking apples and oranges. UFC is different than boxing. So if I get in UFC right now, I'm gonna get my ass beat. I don't care how much training. I don't care if somebody says
Ishe,
train
but you
for
will
6
be
months.
you will be much further than a basketball player would, because you a combat.
But my only hope would be to
stay on the feet.
If as soon as I go to, we saw what happened to James Toney.
For sure.
We saw what happened.
Yeah, but come on, man. Toney was 1 million years old. That they did that so MMA could have one up on us.
He still would have lost, even if it was a young Toney.
No,
it's just a different. No. I've trained with those guys, man. I've trained with.
You just gotta not let them grab your feet.
I went to school with
It ain't that easy,
I went to school with great
5-minute rounds.
Gray Maynard. I've trained with those guys, man, and I respect what they do. And there's no way that I'm not gonna sit up here and say that we can get into there and execute that field, man. It's hard.
I'm not saying
the leg kicks, everything is some shit we're not even used to.
I'm not saying that.
Total different sport,
but
and those guys they do not have the stand up game like we have. They coming over here disrespecting our sport. You don't see. Let me tell you how hard that sport is. You see them coming over here getting the money because they're not making the money over there. But ain't no boxer signing up saying, let me go to UFC and get some bread.
What's the incentive? What's the incentive? What's the incentive?
I'm saying, but there is. Why would you do it over there?
But you wouldn't, because it ain't no money.
Even boxers that could say I can make some bread and go over there, they're still not doing. We saw the greatest woman to ever put on the gloves. One of the greatest women to ever box, Clarissa Shield. She lost over there.
She did it for publicity.
She lost over there.
Her heart wasn't in it.
She's one of the greatest women to ever put on the gloves. 2-time Olympic champion. All right, but she went over there and lost. That's a prime example.
It's different. It's different though, because you talking about how did she lose? She ain't lose stand on her feet.
No,
exactly.
And that's what I'm saying.
When they come into the boxing ring, that's out the window. It's feet only. Mm-hmm. So that being said, given that Tyrone Woodley became a UFC champ, which is feet, ground, everything, he ain't a bad fourth professional fight. Like most guys ain't fighting.
That's what I'm saying.
A guy with Tyrone's pedigree
exactly
in a fourth professional fight.
Pedigree from UFC?
Bruh,
it's different. You think? I'm just asking, do you think Clarissa Shield loses to that girl in boxing? Just a simple question. Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
I just want five boxers active today. Just give me 5 names. Go.
5 boxers.
Yes, it's just 5 names.
Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Usyk.
That's it. Keep those names. We're going to Google all these. Watch these first 5 fights, okay? Who the fuck Earl fought when he fourth fight?
Fourth fight was Woodley for Jake, so...
None of these dudes have fought anybody. I'm telling you, man, that's how boxing works.
But we can't.
Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Luis Torres was 4-2-3.
So you don't think Luis Torres could beat Jake?
Hell no. First off, he's a 46-pounder. What he did since Earl? Let's see. After Earl, he just had 1 win and then 2 more losses and retired. Next, who was his next name he said? Tyson Fury? Let's go to Tyson.
Okay.
Tyson might be, because I know he fought fucking undefeated Chisora like at 10 fights, but Tyson Fury, he said. I know, nobody, I bet you he ain't do shit in his 4th fight either. You kidding me? Promoter just signed you. They trying to show you off. I got this 6'9" heavyweight. Get out of it. That was more Australian than UK. Lee Swaby, 23, 22, and 2.
That guy would have beat Jake Paul. Too many goddamn fights. Don't. He would have beat Jake Paul.
I gotta side with Ishe.
He would have beat Jake Paul. Stop it.
Yeah, he would have beat Jake Paul at losing because he know how to lose with 22 losses.
He would have beat Jake Paul. Period.
He said Terrence Crawford.
One could argue. You know, he knows how to win since he got more wins.
We going to Crawford box rack. What's his 4th fight? This is fun because this, I'm telling you, this is what y'all don't see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aaron Anderson debut in a fucking fairgrounds in the county. Debut, and this is what I'm saying. Your 4th fight, 30,000 in the arena. Cheering
debut.
Jake. Cheering
debut.
Jake. This in the fairgrounds.
It don't matter. Debut.
Who the last one?
He
said AJ. He said AJ.
He said Usyk too.
You do Usyk so we can save time.
All right.
Cause Usyk probably do got somebody.
Yeah, he gold medalist.
Yeah, he was fighting. Damn, AJ so popular you can't find his box right. This guy. Damn.
So Usyk in his 4th pro fight fought a guy 21 wins, 8 losses.
Yes.
And knocked him out in the 4th round.
And what's that dude done since?
He's after Usyk.
I see all red over there. He a stop sign.
So after Usyk, he had 2 wins and like 8 losses.
Thank you.
He would have beat Jake. Come on.
At that point,
21 and 8.
Yo, don't you rock with Steve Cunningham?
I rock with Cunningham.
Call him.
We don't have.
Call him.
We don't have.
I've interviewed him. He
same
respect Jake. He spars Jake. Bruh, Jake ain't out here sparring no little kids. He sparring world champions. He paying real people to come fight him.
Cunningham not getting paid for sparring Jake?
Of course he getting paid like everybody. Like Rahman got paid.
He not gonna say Jake Paul is shitty.
Rahman got paid.
He not gonna say Jake Paul is
Rahman got paid, right? Never said Jake Paul was shitty, okay? He never said Jake Paul was shitty. In fact, Rahman was telling you he gonna beat this one, he gonna beat that one. Only time Rahman changed his tune was when they released the tape of him. See how that works?
Listen, I haven't boxed in 3 years. My last fight was 2000.
I hope Jake hear this. He gonna offer you some sparring.
My last fight was 2019 bare knuckle fight. I haven't boxed in 3 years. I will come out of retirement right now and beat the shit out of Jake.
That's what you think.
No, I already know.
They can't hear you, Ishe, because you ain't talking into the mic.
But listen,
I will come out of retirement right now. Give him what you can
all
wait.
Of y'all
we can.
All of y'all
I don't even want the money.
Fight Jake.
I don't even want the money.
You lie.
I don't want the bread.
Come on.
I don't want the bread,
Come
dog.
on.
I'm well off. I don't want the bread. Listen. I will come out of retirement right now. Take the money. Don't pay. Just pay me the minimum.
Why?
Don't just pay. Listen, because I'm going to show you he's a fraud.
No,
dog.
so
he's a fraud.
So this is the thing. You want him to be a fraud so bad, you rather come out of retirement, fight the dude for free.
No.
Instead of calling BJ Flores and going to Puerto Rico, go check him out.
I'm not going to camp.
Go check him out.
BJ offered.
He was here sparring Rahman at Bones Gym.
Yeah, BJ offered, said if we're in Puerto Rico 9 months of the year, if you want to come spar Jake, I said, listen. I'm not getting on the plane. Like, what the fuck I look like? I said, if you're in Vegas, call me. We could talk. I'll definitely come to the gym and spar you. But listen.
When the last time you sparred, Ishe?
It's been a while. But I'm going to tell you this.
Let me pay the flight. Let's go.
It's something like this.
I want to go.
Listen, it's something like this. I came up in the gym watching Mike Tyson, Terry Norris, Azuma Nelson, Gerald McCullen, and all that. And it's something when you have to get, and I'm not disrespecting what the man is doing. He's making bread. But it's something when you have that amateur pedigree and you get in them trenches, in them dog fights, and you got to dig deep. And when the ref, like when I got that first headbutt with J-Rock, and then I got the second one, and I'm bleeding out the middle of my head, and the ref said, you want to continue? And I say, yes. It's something about having to dig deep. So
that man suffer adversity.
I'm saying, wait. Him being compared to other fighters is like we are disrespecting what it takes to become a world champion and relevant in this game.
He walking in Sergio Martinez's shoes.
This is what I don't like. This is the problem. This is the problem I have.
What's the difference? What's the difference between him and Sergio?
Now we are just comparing him to. We're saying he could beat this guy in sparring. He could do that. Dog, it's something to have to go through those trials and battles. There's something to it. Chad Dawson career, that shit was not easy what he was doing. What I did was not easy what I was doing. What these guys, any of these guys done is not easy. There is something.
Hasim Rahman,
I was going to give him credit.
Amateur,
I was going to give him credit. I was going to give him. I told you, I was going to give him credit.
Chad Dawson ain't fighting no fucking Hasim Rahman in his fifth fight.
We cannot disrespect how hard it is to make it in this game.
But is
and
he
I'm not even comparing it to
but
that.
how is he disrespecting
because
it,
you're saying what you're saying is
look at what he's doing. He's putting more eyeballs. He made Amanda Serrano rich. People know her.
I'm not talking about none of that.
He fixing this
but
sport.
When you tell me
he putting people on blast. He using his social media to silence these fucking cheaters.
Dog, I've been boxing since I was 8 years old. I've told you who I came up in the gym with, and you're telling me let's get on the plane. Like, come on, dog. Are you serious?
You the one doubting him, so they saying get on the plane.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because you doubting him.
He cannot fuck with me, period.
Period. But that's because you making it a sparring thing. I'm making it go look.
I'm saying no, I'm not gonna maybe he looks good in the gym. Right. But I'm not saying he doesn't look good, but come on, man. I'm not never gonna put down what no fighter has done and achieve any type of level of success, whether they're making Jake Paul bread or not. I'm never going to put that down. I know what it takes. I know how hard this shit is. Like, I appreciate Gabe is still going. If he's not competitive in this next fight, get out while you got your senses, man. You are hardworking. You're showing what boxing is. Get knocked down. Get knocked down.
Essence of the sport,
get knocked down 8 times. Get up 9. Get knocked down 9 times. Get up 10. Like, I appreciate what you're doing, but don't let this game kill you. At the end of the day. Because I go to these award dinners and I see the fighters fucked up, can't talk, barely slurring their speech. I don't want that to happen to some of these fighters I was in the game with. So get out while you can. Get your break. It's a young man's game. So I'm not mad at the money. Get your money. And I told Jay Leon that. I told him that, like, get your money. Get his money. I'm never going to hate on the man getting bread. But when we start comparing him, saying he could beat this guy, and I get it, it's for shock value. You want to call out. But like I told y'all when we first started this interview, you're going to talk that shit, back that shit up. You start calling out the Canelo.
Still got time.
You still got the Canelo going to be gone in 3 years, bro.
No, he not.
He going to be gone.
That man, bro, he say he fighting until 37.
Even if he is, like, to me, you can't really say he like he putting the work in, Ishe.
Putting it
no,
in.
I'm not saying he's not working. I'm not saying he's not working.
Now on top of that, all right, cool. We look at some of these guys' records who they fought early on. Come on, we didn't seen it. All right. Like, they literally have a nickname here in Vegas. Like, my first time in the gym, they're like, yeah, you know, we're going to get, I ain't going to say who, but it was an up-and-coming, yeah, we're going to get him a TJ special. A little cab driver from Mexico, just get him up here for the weekend. Whatever.
Ben Askren wasn't that?
No, hell no.
Ben Askren just had a name. Did you see how he looked at the fucking weigh-in?
I seen all that, but he still ain't no cab driver from Mexico. He just had a name,
bro. We can't see. This is where me and you, us three, we disagree because we can't put MMA fighters in there and then say it's the same.
Yo, that's like saying we all go out like this, and someone tries you. It's nothing. It's like trying him. No, you a boxer. They just don't know. Just like that man is an MMA fighter. No, he ain't a regular dude like me.
So if I dive into the UFC field, let's say me and Askren, we fight in UFC, and Askren,
but you going to that sport.
Beats my ass.
But you going,
Askren beats the shit out of me.
Only way he beats you if you let him take you down. You know that.
That's not as easy. It's hard to defend against that.
So let me tell you this.
Let me tell you this. Hold on. Stand up, you know. So you got to practice blocking the shoe.
Let me tell you this. If we run into Tyrone, me and us run into Tyrone Woodley
on the street, talking shit.
You think
he ain't gonna fuck us up?
You think he ain't gonna fuck us up without taking us to the ground? You don't think he fuck us up?
Yeah, he would. But y'all hands ain't like that though. Y'all average shows.
Neither is Jake.
Jake
Y'all put on the greatest boxing show everywhere.
And Jake is a YouTuber.
We need that shit clipped, Jimmy.
But Jake is a YouTuber, so he in that same boat. Going against Woodley is a threat for a YouTuber.
But we gotta stop acting like Woodley is a boxer. Okay, he's not.
But you just said Woodley would knock the average motherfucker out on the street.
Of course,
on his feet.
All of a sudden, Jake ain't average because he's special, like Sergio.
He's not. Stop it.
Sergio Martinez got a draw. He got a draw in his third pro fight.
Stop it.
He got a draw in his third pro fight,
and he lost early to Margarito.
Okay, Jake got one in his fourth, or a majority decision.
Who did Sergio Martinez fight in his third pro fight?
I think it was Margarito.
No. It was some guy named Mario Javier Nieva.
Another fucking boxer.
Listen,
for the sake of God, just fight a boxer. That's all I'm saying. Fight somebody. I don't care if the motherfucker's 0-3. Just fight somebody that actually boxes. I'm okay if you fight a guy 2-3. If you fight a guy 2-5 and you're 5-0. I'm okay if you're 6-0 and you fight somebody 4-4. Just fight a fucking boxer. Stop the NBA shit and stop the MMA shit.
But
Ishe, I'm cool with everything else.
Ishe, but you really ranting for no reason. The man offered a dude with pedigree.
I'm not hating on that.
A heavyweight.
I'm not hating on that. I told you. I was going to give him credit.
But your energy should have changed. It's not his fault. Rahman didn't answer.
We're just talking about it as a whole now.
But that's part of the equation.
The only thing I blame Rahman.
He answered the naysayers. That's part of the equation. He picked the boxer.
At the end of the day.
And he was a heavyweight.
At the end of the day, it didn't happen. So now what's next?
Whose fault?
It's Rahman's fault.
All right.
100%.
So we got to let Jake and his promotion find another
I already
opponent.
said, I tweeted this.
Mind you, he was about to fight Tommy. That's two boxers back to back.
Okay. Yes. I wasn't going to hate on that either. I already said, I'm not going to, I get why Rahman took it. Coming off of L, making your biggest payday ever. I'm cool with all that. You got to make the weight.
Got to.
You got to make the weight. You have to make the weight.
The opportunity was so big, so I can't believe they wasn't even trying to make the weight.
And I get, don't kill yourself and all of that. If you'd have not, but don't sign for the fight. You got to make the weight.
See, this is what I don't get.
You got to make the weight.
I'm out here defending Jake Paul. Y'all keep saying he ain't shit, right? But then you can't sacrifice to make the weight.
I didn't say he wasn't shit. I said you got to fight the fight.
Because if he ain't no fighter, I could come into the weigh-in dead. He ain't no fighter. The blood that pumped through my veins is Hasim Rahman Sr. Right. I got 90-son amateur fight. He ain't no fighter. Y'all keep saying he ain't no fighter. Somebody should beat him.
He should have never taken the fight because I said he was never going to make the weight. And that's the problem I have.
I disagree. Come on, man. You was 230. You got to make 205. You a fucking heavyweight.
It's very hard to cut weight when you're that big.
He wasn't lean.
I'm saying, but the only way you're gonna cut weight when you're that big is by pounding the pavement and running a lot of miles, like 6 a day. And when you run, it's heavyweights.
Hurts the knees.
He's not built to put in those kind of miles every single day, and you got to watch your diet. And if I would have been in camp with him, I would have helped him, but I would have told him, don't sign for the fight with all these clauses. There's no way you're gonna make the weight. I would have did my best to help him, but when I found out he was.
I thought Jake can't fight. If
it was a possibility that the fight wasn't going to happen if he didn't make the weight. Like normal possibility, you train me, you my manager, I don't make the weight, I get fined, you say, Ishe, we take him out, X amount of dollars out of the purse going on. When I fight Frank Galarza, I was tapped out. It was the first time I ever made weight. It was the first time in my career I ever got fined. They took money out my purse. Fight still went on. I couldn't make it no more. I was fucking dehydrated. I sat in the tub with Abilene on trial.
How'd you fight?
I honestly, I was fucking. Later in the fight, I was fucking terrible.
Win or lose?
I won, but I was terrible.
Now let me ask you.
But
would you have beat him better if it would have been Jake Paul?
If it would have been Jake Paul, would I beat Galarza better?
Yeah.
What do you say? Like, if I fought Jake
Under
Paul.
those same conditions, you struggling to make weight, but had
Absolutely.
And that's my fucking point.
But
everybody says Jake is a bum, so go ahead and go in there dying.
I get it.
It's your biggest payday.
I get it. But
I'd have fucking had Slim Fast and all type of shit. I had diarrhea to make that weight for my biggest payday.
He had the right people to help him make the weight. That's just my opinion. I don't think he had when you're coming, if you got the reports, you said he came down from 230.
He said he started at 230.
Okay, what do you think he came down? I'm gonna ask your opinion. Where do you think he was at? Where did he fight his last fight at when he lost? Let's see, and that will give me an idea of where he was at. Where was his last fight at?
All I could tell you, we interviewed him twice, and his body looked different.
He was 224
for his last fight.
For his last fight. After fight, you gonna guarantee put on weight. He's a heavyweight. He really gonna put on weight. So let's just assume he told you the truth. He was 230. Let's say when he got the call for Jake, he was still hovering around that 230. Because fighters don't really cut weight out of fight.
Especially not heavyweights.
Not heavyweights. So if he got that call, it was going to be an uphill battle for him to lose that weight. It don't matter if he had they said 250,000 on the table for him. It was going to be, he had to have the right people there to cut 30 some odd pounds, 25 pounds. I came down from 30 pounds before. Worst shit I ever did in my life. And I told myself, that's why later in my career, I never blew.
Do it all the time.
Yes, but it's easy. Not everybody's body is the same.
Like I knew do it all the time. Listen, Bradley used to be 180, making 140.
Yeah, but everybody's body's not the same. I knew Floyd used to train. After the gym, he would go run 6, 7, 8 miles. After that, he would go to the club. Sometimes he would go to the club first, chill at the club, don't drink, don't smoke, leave the club, go run, go back to the gym. Yo, everybody fucking different. So we can't say welterweights do it, this person do it. Everybody is fucking different. Vargas used to get up to
work ethic.
Vargas used to get up to about 200 pounds.
Which Vargas?
Fernando. He would get up high as fuck to fight at 154, but he would come down. So we can't say everybody is the same.
It's work ethic.
But it's not the same.
It's all one. The common denominator is work.
We all work.
No.
We all work.
Some more than others.
Some more than others.
And that's what makes the difference.
We all work. But he was never going to make that weight, and his team wasn't honest with him about making that weight. It's just it's too many pounds in such a short amount of time. It's not only I can help you get the weight, but are you going to be the best you could be? That's a lot of weight to lose in that amount of time, especially if it wasn't all fat.
I'm just not believing that, man. Listen, I'm 40. I'm older than him. I burnt 1,280 something calories yesterday at this fucking age. And I ain't run. I didn't fucking run. I'm not
really compare your fucking Apple Watch burning?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Go, you motherfucking boxers doing 3 a days. Y'all doing 3 a days, man. Come on, he can make that weight. I don't want to hear that shit. All that money on the line.
Are we really talking about your fucking Apple Watch calories?
Yeah.
Man,
the most accurate calorie counter there is.
You don't get the
most accurate calorie counter
man,
there
if
is.
you don't get the fuck out of here, man.
My body speak for itself.
Man, we really gonna talk about your Apple Watch calories?
Absolutely.
We talking about your Apple.
Absolutely.
We talking about
put the work in.
We talking about guys going to the gym three times a day, we talking about. I don't know.
Is he though? Because that's the point I'm trying to make.
I don't know.
If I go to the gym and I spend 2 hours and I burn what the fuck I burn, pro fighters going 3 times a day.
But you remember, pro fighters, we got to put that shit back in. We can't just keep burning and burning and burning.
And that's okay.
We got to put it back in.
Don't forget about Pacquiao ingesting 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories because he's burning so many. Like, all you got to do is feed the body.
Only thing we agree on is this. If you're going to sign for the fight, you got to make the weight.
Exactly.
We agree because what I'm looking at as his team, you're coming off an L. This is a golden fucking opportunity, a golden ticket. You beat this man, you're on top. You sign for the fight, you got to fucking make the weight. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. You have got to make the weight. And I would have told him that I would have did whatever I had to do.
I'm gonna be real. Listen, and I'm not talking about Rahman, but I've been going to gyms for 11 years, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Dudes ain't working. Okay, I don't see nobody. Nobody in there jumping rope for 10 rounds. I don't see nobody hitting the fucking bag for 10 rounds. I don't see nobody jump motherfucking. All they doing is spawn, if that.
You don't think Bud works?
Different person.
You don't think Errol Spence
Devin
works?
Haney, different person.
You don't think Errol Spence works?
Errol Spence, different person. I've been in. But
you just said you go to the gyms and cats ain't
I'm telling you as a
Ishe,
general. You talking about the elite. You talking about the 1% of the fucking world.
You don't think I worked?
I ain't never been in the gym with you.
Dog, I lasted 20 years.
Nah,
I'm not saying you didn't. I'm saying I've never been in the gym with you.
He just moved to Vegas. He just moved to Vegas, right? I've been living here for 7 years.
20 years, bro.
No, hold on. Look, I've been living here for 7 years.
I've been in the elite
Watch
camps,
this.
man.
I've been living here for 7 years.
I have too. That's why
he come out here and we going to the gyms. Mind you, I've been living here, so I know what I'm seeing. So fighters like, yeah, I can't find sparring. Or, yeah, I ain't got nobody to work with. Blah. So he over here trying to make moves, trying to make shit happen. And, bro, why is you doing that? I'm like, they don't want to work. We in Vegas. If they want to work, they going to work.
You'll find work.
And as time has gone on, we in the gyms, and we just see the quality of work. Well, he gets to see the quality of work.
People hiding from the bag.
People put in.
I'm recording you, and you turning around the bag so that my camera's got more bag than you because you tired.
Well, I haven't.
You exhausted. You ain't fucking working.
Right, I don't hang in the gym.
I'm talking about elite names, man.
I haven't been in the gym in a very long time. So, back when I was fighting, everybody in there, as far as when I was coming up, we all worked. And I'm not gonna say you didn't have your non-workers because you're absolutely right. But I'm saying the guys I came up with, the Badu Jacks, the Ashley Theophanes, the Ladarius Millers, the guys that late in my career that I trained with. We all Sanjar, like we fucking worked, and a lot of those guys we sparred each other. Like I sparred Badu Jack, I sparred Ashley Theophane, I sparred Ladarius Mir. Like we worked. I sparred Jay Leon. Like we fucking worked. So what these guys doing today, I don't know. You know it more than me because you're in the gyms. I don't hang in the gyms. That smell and make me want to come back. I don't want to come back. So, but I get what you're saying. They don't work. I don't know if
bro, I don't know if the average boxer doesn't even jump, bro. Does some pad work, does some heavy bag work, you know, they work on something in the ring and they leave. Some people ain't doing no sit-ups. I'm asking, now I got another session to do this and the third, so I'm not there to see it. So I don't know, man. I'm just not trusting dudes, man, because I've been to the Keith Thurmans, Danny Garcia, Floyd Mayweathers, Earl Spence. You name it, Deontay. I've been in them camps.
Those are all elite camps. They're all working.
Exactly.
They're all working.
And I've been under there. Big Babies, Hergovich, Adam Kovnakis. You name it, I've been there.
They should be working too.
The dude that lost to Glayton, he was from New York. Michael Polite Coffee. I mean, the names go on and on. Luis Ortiz, Herman Caicedo's gym. Them living in them little jail cells in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I know if you working and if you not, man. Right. I know.
I came up in gym. I came up in Fernando. Like, I went to camp and sparred Fernando Vargas for the De La Hoya fight. I sparred De La Hoya before. I went to Shane Mosley and sparred him for the De La Hoya rematch. So I've been Vernon Forrest when he fought Sergio Mora. I came up in so many camps, so I saw as a young pro, I saw what it took to work, and I had conversations. Like one of my closest camps was the conversation I had with Vernon, and that's what fucked me up when he got murdered. It's because he told me, he was like, he took us. He said, "I'm gonna come pick." It was me and another cat. I think his name was Brad. He from Atlanta too. He was signed in the top rank. I just can't think of his fucking last name. His name was Brad. And he came and said, "I'm going to pick y'all up." He came and picked us up. He said, and he took us out and he was asking us our story. And he said, "Man, you remind me a lot of me." He was talking to me. He said, "You remind me a lot of me because nobody's giving you your shot, but you can fucking fight." He was like, "Keep plugging away. You'll get your opportunity sooner or later." He said, "Man, you just remind me so much of me." And just putting in work, because me and him was putting in great work sparring. And so that's why I say when I went to that gym, when it was time for camp, I fucking worked because I came up under guys. Even when I was young, I saw what it took. But being in them camps, being in the Vargas camp and watching what type of work it took to fight on that stage, it's a lot. And even what you say coming out, and I told y'all this last time, like coming out in the fucking MGM versus coming out in the fucking Orleans,
that's right,
is fucking different. You're talking to a guy that fought in Caesars under the Contender. Like, we fought at Caesars. I fought fucking in New York before. I fought places before. But when I came out to that fucking MGM, I was like, fuck. Because it's a different kind of atmosphere. So I get what you're saying. So
plus, on top of that, in a venue like that, in a venue like Madison Square Garden, I could only imagine your first time fighting under them lights. You have to think, damn, Ali did it before me. Mayweather did it before me. Right. So there has to be some sort of pressure. Like, I'm not saying it's a lot. I'm not saying it's gonna.
But Floyd told me that. Floyd told me. When my first fight at the MGM. And this is coming off, I beat fucking K9 in Detroit. He told me, like, it's going to be different fighting here. Be prepared. He said, I'm telling you, you ain't never, like, this shit is different. And it is. Like, the whole week, everything was fucking different. It was totally different than anything.
And you're being pulled in so many different directions, so man. I've watched it happen for 11 years. Dudes get an opportunity. They never been under that limelight. The A-side makes you do all this extra interviews. Now, fight week, you everywhere. You trying to make weight. They got you doing a million interviews, and your post fight end up saying that. Well, I never been on this stage, and it was hard to handle the lights.
Like I said, I'm not knocking the hustle, but just fight some fighters. I'm old school. I came up in the era where we wasn't making this kind of money,
but
and
that's why I
find
find it so hard, like, to understand why you don't respect this kid.
I respect the hustle. I don't respect.
It's a grind. He's fighting.
I respect the hustle. But I don't like the non-boxers, and I don't like the calling out the names saying, give me 3 years. I don't like all that. Don't mention the names if you're not ready for it now. Listen, if he called my name right now and I'm chilling, and he said, I'll beat Ishe Smith ass right now, I want him for my next fight. Real fighters, I'm coming out of retirement like, let's go. Let's fucking go.
But you also think it's easy.
If somebody called me out, well, it's just my mentality. It's a real fighter's mentality.
You only coming out of retirement for Jake because you think he's not a real fighter and it's an easy fight.
Yo, anybody can call me out. Somebody could be in the gym and say, I'll beat Ishe Smith ass right now. Get my gloves. Get my shit. Dust them off. Let's go.
So what's my man name putting people in the dirt? Conwell call you out. You coming out of retirement, so he could get his first big name on his resume.
Who is Conwell?
Charles
on, man.
Conwell.
I don't. I'm telling you, unless it's like a big, like it's like
he is a big name.
Unless it's like Tank.
The world is hiding from him.
Like fucking Ryan Garcia or some of these other names. I really don't. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, Tyson Fury. Wild. Like, I don't tune into a lot of fucking boxing.
But the point is, you not coming out of retirement.
I will come out of retirement. If they call my dude, I don't run from smoke.
It ain't about running.
I don't run from smoke.
You seen that scene in Rocky?
I don't run from smoke, dog. We not built like that. If they call me right now,
you a certain age. We don't. Even though your heart
I don't run from smoke.
Your body isn't gonna react to a young guy that way.
My body gonna have to tell me don't go through with it. But if you call me out and the promoters call me and they say, hey, we're gonna give you X, Y, and Z. We want you to fight him. I'm coming out of retirement, dog. I'm built different. I'm built different.
Ishe know good and well he gonna be on Twitter like, come on, y'all. Y'all know I've been retired for 3 years. That check wasn't enough. They trying to offer me X amount of dollars.
It's gotta make sense. If you gonna throw $25,000-$50,000 my way, I'm not coming out of retirement.
Be 15-0. How much more you want?
I'm not coming out of retirement for that.
All right, well, don't say if they call you out.
If they call me out, I'm coming out. But it's gotta make sense. Like you said, I'm 44.
He's been in this game longer. You tell us how much a 15-0 fight is supposed to be making. What's the budget for that fight?
Well, it depends. The budget now is different. It's inflated.
Go ahead.
It's inflated.
Give us your inflated budget.
Well,
Ishe Smith versus Conwell. What's the budget for that fight?
Dog, you're not getting me out of bed. I'm not coming out of bed for anything less than 6 figures.
You say you coming out for Jake for free, though.
That's 100K.
You say you'll fight Jake for the minimum, though.
And that's what I'm saying. They keep thinking he a bum. See, he'll fight Jake for free, but he need 100K for Conwell.
I will spar him for free. I'm just not going to Puerto Rico to do it. I'm just not going to Puerto Rico to do it.
Take me. I will pay your flight. Take me and Danny. What is you talking about? Have you ever been to Puerto Rico?
No.
Yo,
Champ, it's beautiful over there.
I told y'all. We next time we book at Ishe, don't book at 8:00 because now we got our 8:00 guest. It's 8:10. And
he came in 30 minutes early.
And now we got to let the champ go.
Man. And we didn't even get through anything,
I know, man.
This was a Jake Paul segment, man.
Jake Paul.
I told you, this is our permanent studio now. We was temporary over there.
Yeah, I went over there first.
Part 3.
Oh, get out of here.
I went over there first. And I didn't read the DM, and then I just came over here. I can't believe I talked about this fucking guy for an hour.
In 9 minutes, yo.
It's fucking hour.
He's
You got me
good, bro.
talking about this guy. A fucking hour.
Bro, he's the
3.
new face of boxing.
No.
People
Stop
don't like
it.
that.
Stop it,
Ishe
guys.
People
the
don't
new
like
face
that.
of TBV. He got to
People
come
don't
back
like
for
that,
part
but
3.
he is. He
No.
got eyeballs on the sport. He fixing the sport.
You are by far you two are, and I'm giving the biggest show in boxing on the whole social media platform by far. Please don't say things like that.
I mean,
Don't say things.
he feeding people.
Don't say he's the face of boxing.
You seen Regis, right? He gave Regis that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gave Montana Love his breakout fight. After that, Montana got signed to Matchroom. He giving dudes opportunity. And look,
Let me tell
you
you.
got to go, but Floyd put people on, but not like this.
No,
Not like this.
I think his stuff is a little.
Look at Jay Leon Love, what he was doing with his career. At least he training.
But he had a career though.
It was over. It was over.
He landed
He even
a bag.
gave him a fight.
No,
he even got him a fight.
And Jay Leon's making good money too. And that whole team.
BJ,
I know that
what
whole
was BJ
team.
doing? He was commentating.
No, I
once
know
in a
that
blue.
whole team. BJ, Danny Smith, Jay Leon, that whole team. I know that whole team.
He
Yeah, they
feeding.
gotta eat. Get your bread.
He feeding
But stop.
hundreds of motherfuckers. He feeding. He putting out. I've been to the Tampa fight. Did you see that Ohio fight? Did you go to Floyd's Logan fight in Miami?
No, I didn't.
Them boys is they. Matter of fact, I'll put it like this. I went live from the arena and they had over 2 million views. They different.
You gotta stop.
They different.
You got too much credibility to say that.
Well, they sold 1.5 million pay-per-views at $10 on YouTube. No boxer ever attempted. Matter of fact, Huey Fury was on pay-per-view on YouTube. Go Google how much Huey
how much
sold.
he still on Showtime last time though?
I don't know, but
They never released the numbers. How much he sell?
Ishe, guess what? Evidently, it was enough to come back.
They making money.
They ain't cut his ass.
They making money.
They ain't cut him.
They not gonna cut him. They'll be stupid to cut him.
Because they making money.
They
Hand
making
over
money.
fist.
Man,
And think
Steven
about this.
Espinosa just got done saying right before the fight was canceled that they look forward to working with Jake for a very long time.
And look at his track record. YouTube pay-per-view. Dazn pay-per-view. Triller pay-per-view. Showtime deal. Come on, man. That boy's the future.
I'm not gonna hate on him. I told you the grind.
No
is different.
DAZN pay-per-view. It was on DAZN, which is
It wasn't pay-per-view?
No, sir. Canelo is the only fighter to have fought on DAZN pay-per-view in America.
You might want to Google that.
No, I don't have to.
You might want to Google that.
I was in the building.
But it's all good.
That was Devin Haney's first title defense when they
3.
fought in L.A.
Ishe Smith coming soon.
Word.
The new face of TBV. Las Vegas legend.
Yeah, man. Once a week,
20
man.
plus
Ishe
years in
Smith
the game.
hour,
Man.
man. It's your Ishe Smith hour, man. We love it.
Yo,
man.
let me tell you something. I'll tell you off air. Actually, we gonna go to intermission. Take this.
Yo,
picture.
did you see Mickey Bay's the reel we put out about him saying boxing is like the gang culture?
I didn't. Mickey told me a lot about things before everything happened, and at that time I wasn't listening to him. And then we'll get into this next interview the next time I come. But a lot of stuff that Mickey put me on, I wasn't aware of until he was already gone. And he put me on game a lot. And I saw y'all had Lonnie on, and it's
Michael
just,
Jordan of boxing,
Yeah.
baby.
No, the
I
super
just-
middleweight division.
I don't
My
know
guy.
if I don't know where he's at now. Or
Who, Lonnie?
Lonnie, who he's with, if he's
And
still
DLX.
who's his promoter?
None.
But I watched that guy bust his ass, win the fights he was supposed to win, and still not given the opportunity because outside of a couple names, we was the stepsons of PBC. And when I'm talking about MP, Mayweather Promotion Fighters was the stepsons of PBC, and we had opportunities pass. And I feel bad for him, man, because I watched that guy win fights that we going to give you this opportunity after you win this. Lonnie, go out and win it. Oh, okay, one more. he go out and win it, and still not giving those opportunities. I remember one point he was like working security and trying to box at the same time. So, like I said, it's a lot I could touch on.
But how much of that is him not taking them offers? Because him not assuming the money's right, and from
I don't know.
From the sound of our interview, the money wasn't right because he would be offered one thing, the original offer would be more. So,
but you got that. That goes back to the whole thing of stepsons. You know, we was always getting the bad end. You got your Badu Jacks, and you got. It was a time where I was fucked up, and I needed. You know, I was fucked up. I wasn't getting the fights that I was told I was going to get, and I had team members who I still got to take care of to this day that was like, Shay, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Like the Badu Jack, Ashley Theo Paynes, Bob Ware, and they're like, I got you. Don't worry about it. I was fucked up not getting what I was supposed to get, and then everything went sour from there. And I love those guys. Like I said, I made history with those guys, but just because I was married to you and you didn't cheat on me for 13 years or whatever, don't mean that when you finally cheat on me, I got to speak good about you forever. I don't.
Or that in that 13-year marriage, it wasn't, because you could be married forever. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that relationship wasn't rocky.
It wasn't bad, but I don't. You know, like I said, I fucks with. I wish all those guys well. I love all of those guys, but I don't have to. Everybody says like if I say something, well, Floyd did this for you. I don't have to always. Yes, he did, but I had to go out and fight the fights. I don't have to speak good about him for the rest of my fucking life if it wasn't good if it wasn't good. Shit wasn't good towards the end, and it was a lot of maybe he didn't know what was going on, but it's under your watch, it's under your company, and I watched a lot of broken promises, not just for me, for a lot of guys. I don't have to fucking speak good about you for the rest of my life because we were crying on TV together because I won a world title. That it just doesn't work. Divorces happen all the time. You see, Tom Brady left New England. I don't have to fucking speak good about you for the rest of my life because you gave me an opportunity. I had to fight and win that opportunity. Like I said, I love Floyd. I've been knowing Floyd since I was like 9-10 years old. But at the end of the day, I don't have to speak good for you for the rest of my life because you gave me an opportunity. I had to fight the fights. And the shit was bad. It was bad. Like I said, I compare it to a woman. If you cheated on me after we've been married for 20 years, the shit ended bad. I'm not going to talk bad about you. But I'm going to say, yeah, when somebody asks me, did she cheat on you? Absolutely. She cheated on me. That's why we're fucking divorced. I have to speak good about you for the rest of my life because we did magic together. And the real fighters, the real ones, fuck the fanboys, fuck the ones that's looking for the laughing at all the jokes. The real ones, the ones that started that shit, know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'll challenge any of them if they want to disagree. If they want to come here and sit right in your fucking chair, I'll look them right in the face and tell them exactly what I'm saying right now. They know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Not the ones that's laughing at all the jokes, that wants to go to the run, that wants to hang out at the strip club. I'm talking about the real motherfuckers that was there training and fighting. You think Tank came out of that shit. But let's not be real. When Tank got his first world title fight, he was setting up to lose. It wasn't no fight like let's push this guy. It was a fight given like he was trying to feed that man the Loma. And then he gave that man to that guy because he thought he was gonna lose and Tank won. Tank surpassed the shit. But let's not
Who was being fed to Loma?
I say he was trying to get Tank to go over to Top Rank to fight. He was trying. We can make that. Go look at all the old Mayweather interviews.
Man, but that was after Tank came out on social. Yes,
that was before.
No,
but
Tank
when
came
he
out
fought,
on. No.
Tank
Hold on, you got your timeline wrong. No,
yeah.
his timeline wrong. You the almanac. Just hit me.
We're gonna bring it back, yo. We got it right. You got people waiting.
Tank went on Twitter and was like, "Oh, they setting me up
We'll
for the
be right back,
Pedraza title
everybody,
shot.
in a minute.
Pedraza title shot."
But
after he won that,
no.
Floyd
Who
got
was
mad.
the guy he fought? Who was the guy he fought in New York? The guy that
Pedraza.
Pedraza. They wasn't putting him in that fight to win.
What?
No, they wasn't.
Listen to me.
They wasn't.
Hear me out, Ishe. I know Pedraza.
I would sit right across Tank and ask him.
Listen to me. That's what Tank thought because boxers don't follow the
We
sport.
know. We
Pedraza
know.
couldn't make weight.
We know.
He was supposed to move up the
We
fight
know.
before. So how
That's
they setting him up? They're giving you a dude that's struggling to make
Nah,
weight.
dog. I'm telling you, it is what it is. I know. It's things I know that I would never talk about publicly. But when it comes, it's things I know around that whole situation that I would never talk about publicly.
It don't matter what secrets he know. We boxing fans. Look at the skill of Tank. Look at the skill of Pedraza.
That was a young Tank. I've always believed in Tank, though. Tank could tell you right now.
Matter.
I told him.
It don't matter.
I told Tank.
Tank was killing motherfuckers.
Who was struggling to make weight?
I don't know.
Who
but-
needed to move up?
We'll be back. We gotta
All right,
go.
we
Man. We'll be right
Thank
back.
y'all, man.
YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.